to put it more into context, this is stuff that we pulled out of call centers out of Thailand, and some interesting extortion conversations that came out of there that we've not typically seen inside the US. I'm interested in your experience if you've seen anything like that.
Yeah, so I have actually, and call centers, just like you're talking about in the Philippines in particular.
There we go. Yeah.
But not just that, the trend that I have seen is a real significant increase in organized crime, like external, fraud rings, and internal collusion. And I think a lot of it, especially the past, what are we, 6 months or however many months we're in deep with COVID, is that people have such job insecurity that they are willing to take that additional risk to, if someone approaches them to help, how does your company, mitigate risk, or what are the tools or the checks that they have in place. You were talking about an employee being, someone being hired, inside the company. It's not just getting paid and being that insider. It's also learning those tricks and those loopholes to help those outside criminals and outside fraud rings. I've seen a really large increase in things like that. But for me, early indicators, I like to focus on the human aspect. And again, it's hard with COVID because we're all remote and people are not really working alongside each other to recognize changes in someone's pattern of behavior. But educating people on how to recognize and where to report and how to report when someone they work with has changed that pattern of behavior. I had one case in Miami, actually, where somebody was bumming rides all the time to and from work. They didn't have a car. They lived in like an apartment with a bunch of people. And then very quickly, and I mean within like 2 to 3 weeks, they had bought a new Lexus. They were flashing a watch. They got a new iPhone. And so some really eagle-eyed coworkers ended up reporting that as suspicious. And they didn't work in a call center, but it was a center where you interact with customers. And they did deal with finances. And sure enough, like that person recognized that person had changed that pattern of behavior, and we were able to catch them.